Loading up the stream on the tablet.
Da, 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 da. Boop. And oh, whoops. Hold on. Oh, whoops. Can you hold down?
I can see something.
Oops. Can you hold down?
I can see something.
Oops.
Okay, I can hear an echo too.
Yeah, I'm testing audio.
Mm-hmm.
Audio sounds good,
Yay.
and it will loop for a little, but it's okay. I can accept that. I can accept that.
This is acceptable. Actually, wait. I think if Lemon Grab says it, he says it like begrudgingly. That's acceptable. Unacceptable. I saw a YouTube short a little while ago about some cartoon I've never seen before, but apparently it's kind of medieval fantasy setting, and the family in the castle has like what's her name? It was like Alicia or something. No, wait, it was like Castile. It was a feminine name that sounds like Castile. Maybe it was Castile. Anyways, yeah, they call up like, uh, uh, this thing is amazing. Hey, Castile, and like this dragon head shows up, and is like, is my son married? And the little dragon head's like, no. Will you tell him that I didn't give him birth to have him waste his life being unmarried? Yes. And you see another dragon head in the kids' room, and the dragon head is like, she didn't give you life to, and then the kid's like, can I ignore her messages without her knowing? And the dragon says like, yes. And it sounds very much like one of those computer assistants, like the Google Assistant or Siri or Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
And they just basically have a Hydra with a head in every room doing this for this family. And I found out recently that the voice for that Hydra is Darcy Carden, the voice of Janet in The Good Place.
That's fitting.
Yeah, she does that role really well too.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope she doesn't get like typecasted as that kind of thing if she doesn't want to be.
Right.
She is amazingly versatile. Just through The Good Place alone, there's this one bit where she has to be everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And she does it flawlessly. Feeding your tweet there, sharing your stream on. Let's see, have you done Salty Life? No, not yet. This will be here. Promote your things up top. Yes. I can't type today. Ask us anything! Exclamation point.
I really like this little scoreboard thing that I have going here.
Mm-hmm.
Really giving me some Bubble Bobble vibes. Sorry.
As long as it's under 10 seconds, it's fair use.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it isn't
I wonder
like
if this
it's
is
the
just
real music, it's just us
yeah.
loosely.
It's public. I guess it would be categorized under public performance or something like that. Public performance of the copyrighted piece.
To be fair, even if they copyright claim, I don't qualify for monetization. Go after me, because you're not going to get a single penny. Work hard for that non-existent penny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did I post the picture here? Let me see. I could probably post the picture with the stream. From me. What was the last thing I posted here? From a little while ago. I did not post the picture here. Okay. I will post the picture here.
Honestly,
Picture.
what we can do during the game, this little scoreboard could be an after thing. But during the game, having the characters
The
do their
animation's
little...
going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might need to scrunch them to see how they'll fit in that, but I guess that just proves I don't need to focus on too many small details. Because, as you can see, this is a very small plane to work with.
Mhm.
Even if it's not the mobile port, I will keep this little rainbow thingy.
Yeah.
And I've got a version of that without the border, so I could always go back and change that for the other version.
Mhm.
But I will use that rainbow border for something, darn it. I am proud of it. It is both bold yet subtle.
All right, Blue Sky shared your post, and Twitter shared your post, and Discord shared it on my Discords, and changed my custom status.
My goodness, this is all of our code.
Mm-hmm. I usually like to have, when I program in C++, I like to have little, like, each, well, maybe not each function, but like each important thing have its own file so that it'll be a little bit easier to find. But yeah, there you can do multiple coding styles, either like multiple scripts or have everything in a single script.
Mm-hmm.
It all just kind of melts together into one program ultimately.
I saw in some videos how they put the constants in between each one. I'm like, I don't like that. I like having it up here to where there's at least...
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want to do, and I know this would happen, is that I forget where a specific constant begins.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, I think my style also leans towards having a lot of global or at least large scope variables, just because I don't like the idea of a of a function allocating and deallocating memory rapidly,
Mm-hmm.
or at least allocating memory and just leaving it to garbage collection to pick up the slack.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I need a if I need a variable often to create stuff, then I want that RAM to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, and that probably sounds like someone who grew up with, like, I don't know, programming on TI calculators or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey, TI calculator's valid.
I'm very resource. I try to be. I like to be really resource efficient,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if I can trust the build system or whatever to do that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, with GDScript, you don't really have much of a choice. I'm guessing that if you declare a constant like down in the middle of the program, then upon build time, it'll move all those variable declarations to the top anyway.
Mm-hmm. I just like this for consistency's sake. It's like a little index.
Yeah. Live with palette stack on Butterflies channel.
I at least know, okay, all the named functions are at the top, and what I'm trying to do is all the way down. So that way, if I need to change something, I'm not hunting down a single line.
Hmm.
I'm just hunting it down at the top.
Yeah, and I mean, that'll be important for C++ as well, because if you declare, like, a lot of people will use throwaway variables, and actually I'm included in this. This is sort of the exception to my memory efficiency rule, and that is, like, if I have a for loop, I will declare it in the for loop. So for int I equals 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. And just within that loop, the program will allocate a tiny bit of memory, name it I, and like, I don't have to, like, I is just the name of the variable that counts from 0 to 5. I don't have to call it count from 0 to 5 or something. I don't have to keep track of its name because it only exists for that very short time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I were strictly following my rule, I would probably have a variable count from 0 to 5 declared as an int in the header file, and I would only refer to that. I would only set it to 0 and count it to 5 in the for loop, or I would. But like, because the for loop is such a commonly done thing, I'm pretty sure like, if I do -03 or something, that the processes behind optimizing the build will do whatever I'm trying to do for me. Like, I can trust C++ for that. It's a mature enough language that I can trust it'll do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we have the matches. Well, we have
Yes.
a randomization.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to populate the board without matches.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get a big view of your stream here. Set this to 1080p and hope my tablet does not
Would it
die
be
in the process.
right under make 2D array? Well, after make 2D array, that is.
Yeah, okay. So it'll be in the process of placing in the process of creating and placing pieces. We want to add checks to make sure that it is not making matches. So we do matches of 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So on the fourth, from the fourth piece on is when we need to start checking the pieces going up.
Mm-hmm.
So let me try and write this in pseudocode. Get a notepad up here. This old scribble there. So we have choose piece. If okay, then place piece. Else, while not okay, choose piece. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if okay, do nothing. If okay, do nothing. Else, while not okay, choose piece. Out of that if else loop, place piece. Something like that. Then define what okay means. So okay means check previous 3 pieces if fourth piece or later. I'll check that position. Right. Check 3 pieces up. Actually, maybe we don't need to check that first. Check 3 pieces up. Check 3 pieces high diagonal. Check 3 pieces left. And then check 3 pieces down diagonal. Then if match, then not okay. Return not okay. So
Now, this, I guess, if match is something we're going to check a lot, so it should be its own function if we haven't already. So, these should probably be an else if. And as much as the world hates else ifs, we don't have switch case break statements here.
What do you type in there?
Just typing random stuff left in between everything. If you look back, I'm just like, da da da.
Oh, tablet is being troublesome.
I heard that YouTube has a new thing to try and defeat ad blocking now, is they make the YouTube buffer shorter if you have an ad block on.
Eh. Watch it be dismantled pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but they're wasting their money.
Mm-hmm.
What does the tutorial say here? So this tutorial is using strictly vertical and horizontal matches and a 3 match instead of a 4. So we're just going to have to try and adapt his code to ours, to our game.
Oh, I should probably be on Do Not Disturb, so that way people don't hear the Discord boot.
Yeah. Let's see, I should go put this on the mute. Actually, no. If Do Not Disturb works like that, maybe I should just do that.
Oh, poor Phoenix.
What's happening?
Oh. General.
Yeah, something we shouldn't talk about on stream.
Yep, I'm not really disclosing it. Anyway.
Yes. Something we'll look at later.
Yeah.
Right. The tutorial. So we're creating our pieces from the top down, right? Yeah, via columns. We're doing columns and then rows.
Alright. So, what do I gotta do? Start with function?
We will be creating... I'm guessing right now, but I'm guessing we'll be first creating the the function to test if there's a match, and then working that into the build algorithm.
Okay.
Working that into our build functions.
Alright. So, where do we start?
We're looking... Okay, so the way that we built our board, building from the top, it places a paint splotch at the top left corner, then builds one, then puts one underneath, then puts one underneath, then puts one underneath. When we get to that fourth one, we're going to have to look up to see if that fourth one makes a match, and if it does, then we change it. And typically, since we're only doing one change, we don't have to.
We have all this too.
We have all.
I wonder if I.
Yeah, we have place one row. Oh wait, are we doing we've got make 2D array, place one row, which is place one blob, and then current position vector 2, blob width. Current position. Okay, so we're moving the current position. We're doing rows, then columns. Okay.
I am sharing the Godot.
Oh, okay, yeah, that
thing.
might make things a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Let me make this one big here.
See if it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this will probably be better than me trying to follow along with the stream there.
Mm-hmm.
See, let me move these windows over to the left. Make some room here. And get rid of that one. Keep my notepad open. Make it visible on all desktops, on all workspaces. And maximize this one too. So we have function process, place one blob, which does all of that. So at random picks, add child good, and then place one column, place one blob, and place whole board, which does if you could scroll down a little bit.
All right.
Okay, so place one column. Why do we have place one row then?
I think it was
Yeah,
because
place one
it didn't populate right.
Okay. So we have place one row just in case. I mean, in optimization, it'll probably be gotten rid of if it isn't used.
Mm-hmm.
Make 2D array, var array. Or it'll probably, I'm guessing it might give us a warning saying that place one row is declared but not used or not called or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Make 2D array, var I in grid width array dot append empty array, for j in grid height array I append null. So we create an empty array that is the size of our board. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to rewatch the tutorials up to this point to remember what the make 2D array does. What I remember of it is that it creates basically a board of nulls, and then I'm guessing we're learning about how to populate that board, populate that memory space there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Back to the tutorials here. So when we've populated the board up to a certain point where we can look back and to the left, then we're going to need to do more checks, is what it's saying. Once we get to the third column, so what we're creating is a function. Match at column and row. So right now I'm copying verbatim, and I'm going to try and tweak that around to our own code. Based on the column or row, it's going to look left. It's going to look up, high diagonal, left, or low diagonal. Keep checking until you get the result you need to return. So our column starting at 0 goes 0, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, if column greater than 2. Aha, that's where we need, that's the piece of information we needed. So we take our piece we just placed, so piece.position after So is it in place one blob? Yeah, it might be in place one blob. So in place one blob,
All right.
where it says after it should be higher. The function definition for place one blob.
Oh.
There it is. Line and then down.
Sorry.
Oh no.
29?
Yes, 29. Function place one blob where. So at the bottom, so head child this piece dot position equals where. Piece of position equals where, yes. So what is the name of our array? All blobs? Yeah. Looks like it's all blobs. All blobs.
Hold on. Yeah. I think so.
So open up the little chat here. The tutorial says all pieces ij equals piece, which in our terminology means all blobs. Not. Oh, it is ij. Okay, so all blobs ij equals piece. We want to put that at the bottom of our place one blob.
All right.
Place one blob where.
So 42.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Identifier I not declared in the current scope. Okay. I in width for J in. So if we look at the top of place one blob.
Top of place one Bob. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So bar this piece. Maybe it's not. For I in width, for J in height, bar
Blob
red,
width.
floor red.
What about blob width?
I'm looking at the variables. We might not be in the right function here. Choose a random number and store an instance that piece from the array. Add child piece position equals grid to pixel ij. Grid to pixel. I don't think we did a grid to pixel function.
I don't think we did.
So what we have is a vector 2D that is where, right? So maybe instead of I and J, we want where. And I is width. I is width. So all blobs, row and column, where row and where column, which would be where X, where Y. If we look at the variable declaration for where.
For where? Okay, let me see.
Oh wait, no. We want a call to place one blob, which is from place one row or place one column. So if we look at place one column, current position, place one blob, current position. Current position is a vector 2. So a vector 2 has an X and a Y component. So we could say where dot, so maybe all blobs, where dot X, where dot Y. Something like that.
Okay, so put that in the place that it is.
In place of I, put where dot X, and in place of J, put where dot Y.
Okay.
Now I just hope that we have our rows and columns correctly placed.
There it
Because if
goes.
we're doing columns then rows,
It's not red.
yeah, we have it like the only. I would put a little comment here afterwards, like 2 slashes at the end of this line, with a little bit of text that says might have rows and columns switched. At the end of line 42.
Oh. And how do I
How do I not make it an error?
Yeah. How do I not
Yeah,
make it an error?
2 slashes first.
Slashes.
2 forward slashes.
Okay.
Turns the everything after 2 forward slashes is ignored by the compiler.
I might be just messing this up.
Slash slash. Slash slash then text.
Oh,
No slash at the end of the text. Slash slash then text. Forward slashes.
Oh, gosh darn it. Today is not my day, apparently.
Okay, have I confused C++ for Godot script? Try a hashtag instead.
Okay.
Try a hashtag.
#.
There we go. Yeah. Everything after in C++, there's 2 ways to do comments. In the middle of a line, if you do a slash slash, everything after that is ignored. So you could just put plain text after 2 slashes.
I'm gonna put it a little bit further back so I can see. A little bit easier.
Yeah. Another way is to do this, and with the slash asterisk and asterisk slash, you could do multi-line comments, which, I mean, for the most part, you don't have to unless you really need to put like a paragraph in the middle of your text for other people to understand whatever programming quirks you've got going on in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, for GD script, it's a hashtag or a £, or an octothorpe.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we test? Right, that's what we're learning. So put on the tutorial again. So in fact, we told each piece what color it is. Should help. I is greater than 1. So it does column first for I, which might be okay.
Should I try testing it out?
Sure. Run the thing. It should populate.
Errors.
Actually, it should give us an error. Yes. Get index 40 on base array. So let's try swapping where Y and where X.
Okay.
All right, now try running.
Hold on. Oh.
Or stop and then run.
Yeah. Like, where is this? Oh. Close program. Don't send a report, Microsoft. I don't need your help. Error.
Get index 249 on base array. That's real weird. Okay, if we get rid of this line and run.
I'm just gonna cut this. Control X. Close this. Works like a charm.
Okay, good. So the way we handle this new array that we're making has got to be so it can't access element number 249, which is we're doing a 7 by 11 But should only have 77 pieces, so way fewer than 249. So something is causing this. Something might be causing our board making thing to make way more pieces than we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Start position 42, 49. Oh, okay, I see here. So it's doing it in pixels. That's why there's a grid to pixel.
There's the 249.
Yeah. Start position vector 40 to 49. So I understand what's going on here. I think it's trying to populate either piece number 40 or piece number 249, depending on which direction we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Current position. Well, start position. Start position is 40, 249. So I guess we might need I and J indices. So we would start at 0, 0. We do have I and J variables when declared as within for loops. Let's see if you could scroll down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
For I in range 0, grid height. Place one blob, current position. Advances by blob height. Yeah. For I in range 0 to grid width. Places all the columns, yeah. Do we need to pass I and J into the place one blob current position? Or no, we could divide current position by blob height minus starting position. Yeah, okay. So let's put that line back in. So
There it is.
yeah. So all blobs, we just need to, so it does 40 first, which is the horizontal, and 249 second. So where dot y and where dot x are in the correct spots.
Okay.
What we need is where dot, now somehow where dot y, okay, where dot y is 249.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to subtract some math here. So we want to subtract 249 to get 0, and then we want 249 plus blob height to get 1. Or so where dot y minus 249 what is our
Was there what?
I'm just thinking like if we if I subtract 249 and then subtract blob height, I'll get 0 again if I want index 1. What I want instead is to subtract 249 and divide by blob height. Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right.
So where dot y minus, like,
In the same brackets?
yeah, in the brackets, add another set of parentheses
All right.
around where dot y.
Parentheses or brackets?
Round parentheses.
Okay.
Actually, let me just type it out here.
So parentheses for sure, not brackets.
Where dot y, so that is going to be 249 on our first entry. So minus 249, that gives us 0, and then divide by blob height. And then where x should be similar. So where dot x minus 40, I believe. divided by blob width. Oh, wait, I did that wrong. Round where.y minus 49, another set of parentheses. Probably too many parentheses, but I really want to make sure I do this safely.
I mean, it's in the right order. Oh,
Yeah.
well, sort of. Wait, there are 2 parentheses. Is that right?
Yes, there are. Yeah.
Okay.
Because where.y minus 249 has to happen first, and then that divided by blob height has to happen second.
But we have an open set of parentheses there. You have 2 parentheses at the beginning.
Yes, because the first one is closed after 249, and the second one is closed after blob height.
Okay. Well, wait, wouldn't that be 2 parentheses at the end, though?
No.
No.
Try
okay. I'm sorry. You're right.
Try it.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm just overthinking this.
I figure the engine will probably tell you if it's if it works or not.
It's because I have this not defined, this other one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and similarly, where.x minus 40. Actually, we probably shouldn't be using 249 and 40. Did we define constants? It should be like x start position and y start position or something like that.
249.
Yeah, we hard coded those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's add 2 lines above that. Const x start position 40 and const y start position 249.
Above that?
Yeah.
X.
Maybe.
Hold up.
Pause for constants. Const x start pause 40. Or what is it? Equals? Yeah. Use equals 40 const. Oops. Const. Y start pause 49. And then const start position equals vector 2 x start pause y start pause. Oh, make sure the x is 40 and the y is 249.
Oh.
Or is it? Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, x is 40, y is 249.
Okay.
Yeah, x goes to the right and y goes downwards. You know what? It's the same in SFML as well, which is kind of nice. When I was testing out the analog sticks, I was going like, what axis is this one in the positive? And I noticed that, yeah, moving the stick to the right was x positive, moving the stick downwards is y positive.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of bugs me a little that they use x and y for circular analog sticks rather than a radius and angle. But I guess using radius and angle would probably make it go counterclockwise, whereas the current x and y setup makes it go clockwise, which might screw up some things.
Now that we have the constant, we could probably use, instead of the 40 and 249.
Yeah, this is just, it might just be like an eccentricity on my part, but it's something that I was taught in programming classes, that you want to minimize your use. Yeah, you want to minimize the number of hard-coded numbers that you use in your code.
Makes sense.
Like some people would even go so far as to like define 0 as numeral 0. But I mean, that doesn't add any meaning to your code.
Minus x. Is that right?
So yeah. So let's see here. Square brackets. What I do first is I make the pairs of brackets and parentheses, and then I stick whatever goes inside them, just to make sure that I don't have any parentheses or brackets hanging. Where.y minus y start pause outside of this one divide by
Oh, wait.
blob. Paste that. And similarly, I feel like my own learning difficulties might actually be getting in the way of how fast we make progress through this.
I think I might have a typo here.
All right.
Oh, wait. I'll just copy this. Because it's being difficult.
Okay. Yeah. Downside of this chat is it's not gonna know whether what I'm typing is correct or not, but your GD script interface will once it gets pasted in there.
Alright, let me test this puppy out.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Let's see, what's it say here? Invalid get index 7? Now that's... Oh wait, no, that is right, because we start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7 would be out of range. Which means that our array... There's something wrong with how we're constructing our array. But at least it is giving us a single digit.
Right.
Can you look at the error in more detail in the errors tab down below there?
Hold on. If we need to break at any time, I'm marking this as a problem child.
I just realized I don't have the chat open anywhere. I better fix that. There we go. Now I can pop up the chat window here. And make visible on top. So this isn't working. If you let's see, you're currently on the stack trace tab on the bottom panel. Can you change it to the errors panel?
It's blank.
Oh, it's blank.
Yep.
Okay, try running with the errors panel in front.
Okay.
Oh, it just goes back to the stack trace panel.
Mhm.
All right. Main thread. Place one blob, place one column, place whole board. Add function ready. So where 40, where.x is 40, where.y is 719.75. That's really odd. It should be a round number. This piece is object ID that. Random pick is 1. Filter stack variables. I'm looking at the lower right window there.
Mhm.
Could you scroll down on it?
On this one?
The panel to the right.
Oh, panel to the right. Sure.
Column 0,
Array.
row 0, array size 7, which is correct. So I'm trying to get index 7 on an array size of 7, which won't work.
This is weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know what's going on. Let's swap the y and x
Okay.
components. So it might be that we're trying to fit the columns into the rows, or vice versa, and it's trying to access 11 columns where there are only 7. Our original problem.
There we go. Oh, wait.
Alright, so if we
That right or no? Maybe
Is it
change
running?
the X where the Y is.
No, I'm pretty sure we grouped the variables correctly. So x with x and y with y.
Okay, so I
It's just
copied the
we need the
first one
positions to be.
first. Let's see what it does. Aha! Success! It
Nice.
didn't crash. I wish I could show you, but it didn't crash.
It's fine. I believe it. I see no errors down there, so
I am saving this,
I will take the W.
and I am taking rid of the problem child bandage here. If there's
Yes.
a code that is a problem, it will be marked as a problem child.
Yes. I don't know if it's good practice or not to have extensive notes in your code nowadays, because like when I was just learning programming, the classes said, yeah, you're going to be working in a team. You want like everything that isn't explained by the code itself, you will have to explain with comments in the code. But nowadays, most programming languages are designed so that they should be human readable for the most part. So you want to minimize your the number of comments in your code, other than for like educational purposes and stuff.
Yeah. This is just more if I take a break and then do something else, I could look back and go, oh, I need to fix
As we
that.
do. Yeah, and that is important to be able to talk to your future self, and ideally you won't change between now and future you, that your own words would become indecipherable.
Yeah. I don't trust myself.
So we're doing. So we've added
Past
that
me
line
is
there.
evil to future me.
So now we can check for matches. If I is greater than 1, so this was right. If column is greater than 2, and this is what I was writing out in the text file here. So if column is greater than 2, then we only need to check up. And in here, if all pieces at I minus 1. Column, right? I is column. Column. All pieces at column minus 1. And row. I think the most confusing part of this tutorial right now is I can't tell. Every time he uses I and J, he's using a variable I and J from a different scope, it seems, unless he declared them as globals. Or unless he's making a mistake right now and is going to correct it later. Because he called in this function, he started defining this match at with variables labeled column and row, and then instead of using column and row, he's using I and J.
Just checking for a match with return true. So we're still using I and J, but I and J are not declared in this scope. If match at, then while match at. Aha, he was making a mistake.
Ah.
Yeah, that was really weird that he was explaining things in terms of I and J, but he didn't declare I and J in that scope.
Mm.
I think once we get through this, we might actually be able to make a better a better tutorial series.
Mm.
I don't know, maybe it's one thing that I do well in place of being able to learn quickly. But yeah, like it seemed it was a glaring mistake to me while he was typing it out.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's rearranging some of his earlier code in the spawn pieces function. Okay, so if we look at our place one blob function,
All right.
I'm looking at place one column here.
Right. Place.
Okay.
Blob where? Yep.
Oh no, I just want to look at the whole function.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah. So from 31 to 45. I'm just kind of comparing the change that he makes to the change that we might need to make. So he instantiates the piece early, and then instantiates it again? Or var piece equals possible pieces rand instance. Then match while match at. Oh, then instantiates it again? But it doesn't get rid of the currently instantiated piece. Is he making another mistake? Because it feels like there could be a lot of pieces, a lot of stray pieces in the middle of the code by the time the board is populated.
Mm-hmm.
or maybe the pieces just take up so little memory to begin with that there's not a big problem. Hi, Squeak. Oh, squeakies. Meow meow. Oh, squeakies. How are the puppers holding up?
Oh, they're doing pretty well. It's barely, well, it barely snowed today. It was mostly ice.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't stress them out, does it?
Not really.
The cold? Okay.
Yeah. Sandy refuses to go out if it's snowing. Ironically, the husky mix.
Yeah. I just remember this one meme of someone opening their door and it's snow up to their shoulders. And they put a little bowl of something on top of the snow, and the cat just busts through the wall of snow into the house.
Goodness.
That's a white cat, too. Let's see. So what we do is we instantiate way up there, which is fine. And we set the color. Okay, first we make a random pick. If the random pick is that, then we take the piece itself and then instantiate that. So we could do the color check before we instantiate. But we do want to reuse. We want to make code that we can reuse later. So we want the piece to be instantiated and then change it. Okay. There's this actually brings me to a bit of inefficient code that I learned. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I distinctly remember Sega being mentioned in this class about doing this. But there's something that I don't think it's been incorporated into a programming language yet natively, but it's basically you do a thing and then check, and then while the thing isn't where you want it, you copy that code and you do that thing again. And I think we're going to have to take that block of ifs and elifs and put it inside a while block right after that, like put a duplicate of it inside a while block right after it. So let me just kind of concept that out here. So we take that if-elif block and while match, while match if elif. Basically looks like that.
Let's see. All right.
And then the while match part will be while match at row column color like that.
And put that right under the 45th column?
No, right under the 41st.
Okay.
I'm just, because yeah, the if-elif block, what I typed out, don't write if-elif block.
Okay.
The first if-elif block is that pink block of ifs and elifs right there, ranging from
line 34 to line 41.
Mm-hmm.
Line 42 should start with a while statement, and I'm writing out that while statement now.
Okay. Got it.
Row column. We don't have global variables of row and column, I believe. But yeah, line 42 should look like this.
All right. Copying and pasting. Oh wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
it will have an error. Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, nothing to apologize for. All right, hit enter. So we have a new row 43, or new line 43. And line 43 should be a copy of lines 34 through 41.
Without the indent.
With the indent, yes.
Oh, with the indent.
So, yeah, every line in there should be pushed forward. There we go. So yeah, there's an error on line 42 because we haven't defined match at yet. So let's go down to the bottom and say function and copy the line starting, well, copy everything in the parentheses of while. So match at row column color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Head down to the bottom, type func and paste. Down to the bottom of the document.
Oh, bottom of the document. Got it. Hold up.
Basically, we want some empty space where we can define that function. Yeah, just stick a func in front of it.
Yep.
Oh, and probably get rid of the outermost parentheses.
And the colon?
No, we want the colon.
You okay?
Excuse me. We want the colon. Yep. I just need to stay on top of my hydration. Let me get some water. I'll be right back.
This is just weird. This error.
All right, I'm back. Hey, Anand. Anand from the hockey vlog. Good evening. Good to see you here.
Hello.
We are stumbling our way through learning how to fill a puzzle board without accidentally creating a match so that player can have all the fun. The last couple of boards that we made had something like 5 or 6 matches automatically created at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. There is something wrong here.
Uh-huh.
We haven't. Let's see. Function, no open parentheses. So function match at parentheses row column color. Yeah, there is an extra opening parentheses at the beginning there that we don't need. So that should be good. Yes. So we start a new indented line at 77.
All right.
From Hockey Vlog. Yes, that's me. All right. So while match at row column color, I need to scroll back because we just fixed our create one blob function.
Mm-hmm.
Scrolling back here, can you believe this tutorial we're following is only 14 minutes long?
I mean, to be fair, some of it's filled with errors.
Yeah, that kind of bugs me a little bit. And teachers do this too. Teachers will they'll make errors, and I'm afraid that I will learn to do the errors and not. The teacher will of course go, "Oops, I made this mistake. I'd better fix it. This is a common mistake that can be made in the industry." And the problem is, there's people like me that will learn the mistake and not how to fix it. Especially if those people who are like me are also prone to just following orders without thinking about it. Make mistakes, and then you learn. That's how you do it. I suppose make mistakes and learn, but don't make the mistakes on purpose, especially if you're teaching. Make the mistakes by accident, sure. So how far do I have to scroll back to get to the
kind of
check
putting
match?
that in line 77 for right now.
Happy accidents. Kind of like happy trees.
Yeah.
All right, so if I is greater than 1, so we are already checking if the column is greater than 2, because we are doing 0, 1, 2, 3, matching 0, 1, 2, 3 rather than just 0, 1, 2. Then if existing, so all blobs array, so if the all blobs array at column -1 and current row is the same color, so if they're null, he's writing out the algorithm right now. So it got back to the error of using I and J instead of column and row. Rewind to there. So if I, which I'm guessing is column, if column, and we're drawing these downwards, so we actually want row -1, row -2. If row is greater than 2, so 0, 1, 2, 3, that's when you start checking. And at the current column, make sure I spell column correctly, if all blobs at the current column and row -1. This is less human readable with all blobs being the name of the array, but I guess we can't really help that.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure they exist. Okay, so it does not equal null. That does not equal to null. And similarly, and all blobs, column, row -2. And we also want to check row -3, so does not equal null. And row -3. That means that makes absolutely sure that we're checking the fourth blob that we put down in that column. check their colors if right, we need to check the color that we're putting down there. Unless we're doing this beforehand. No, we're not, because we're going to reuse this code. So we can just dot color that, can just dot color that. And 2 equal signs, yes. Equals. Copy and correct as you like. And all pieces. So at that, oh no wait. Check if these are not equal to null first. Then, if. And we have to check that they are all the same color. Actually, wait, no. We only need to check if the previous one is the same color. Not if all 3 are. Because, well, no. We don't want to stop we don't want to stop colors in a row. We just want to stop matches. So yeah, we do have to check all 3.
Right, because we still want to do crazy combos, but
yeah. With a minimum of wasted paint, and if you move around the paint, a lot, then it'll get wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, if you have a good color, if you have a good palette going, then you might want to intentionally waste paint to end the match.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there will be an achievement for that.
Maybe, yeah.
Paint waster, but in a good way. I don't know.
Quickly of games that have only one. Yeah, I tend to get bored of games that have only one way to win, which is a lot of the reason why I avoid visual novels or puzzle games.
I mean, with visual novels, there are ways of dying, I guess.
Yeah,
So
lots of ways to die.
Argue.
King's Quest and such, yeah. But there's only one correct answer if you want to see the story.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, so we go row minus 1, and, so this is a little extra, one extra piece check for match 4s, which might be why a lot of matching games go with match 3 instead of 4 or 5. Then again, Bejeweled has bonuses if you match 4 and 5. And probably a lot of the other match 3s out there do too.
Mm.
So then we go if all pieces and, okay, so we do and equals color equals the color passed in. I hate that we're using the same keyword. I'm going to change this name just so that it's a bit more readable. Column, row, and check color. So if the blob at the column and row we're looking at is the check color, and column, row minus 2. Check color. Just copy that. And change that -2 to a -3. And return true. So that was the check up. Next is check high diagonals. Actually, what we could use this and test it just to make sure we're on the right track. So I'm going to copy this over to you.
All right.
And have you make the changes, change color to color, and otherwise make sure that it all runs without an error.
Just copy and paste it right there.
Yes, in our.
Oh, maybe not to that level. Oh. Oh my.
Oh, and I spelled funk wrong at the beginning.
All right. So I'll add
So
that
everything
right
after the first line. Yeah. And I would probably change the color to check color because we're using that word multiple times to mean different things in this function. Yeah, we don't want the function definition to be doubled there.
Mm-hmm.
So get rid of line 76 then.
All right.
Oh, we probably still want spaces between the functions, just because it makes the code a little more readable.
Mm-hmm. And the if is indented, right?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, that's something I didn't put there. But yeah, at the end of every if line is a colon and an indent. So everything that applies when the if is true is indented. It's something that I don't really like about GDScript. I would rather have them placed within brackets.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have a space insensitive code that uses brackets instead of indents. But I will need to learn a lot more C++ before I can teach it. GDScript is generally, it seems easier to teach, but a little harder to read, in my opinion.
Okay. Question. This is
Line 79 should be indented one more.
indented. Okay.
Because it is inside the previous if statement. Yeah, and then
There it
line
goes.
80 should be indented again.
All right.
So yeah, 78 has one indent, 79 has two indents, 80 should have three indents.
Ooh. What on earth just happened here?
Yeah, the text editor will scroll to the right now. So we have if the row is greater than 2, if the blob at column row -1 exists, and the blob at if the blob 1 row up exists, and if the blob 2 rows up exists, and if the blob 3 rows up exists, is the next if. So this is a lot of ifs we're checking for here.
Okay.
Then, if all those blobs exist and if they're the same color, return true. So line 80 is if they are all the same color.
Okay.
Or if they are all the color that we are checking for.
Sorry.
You're doing okay. I think you can Control H to change COLOUR, or even just LOUR to LOR.
I am a monster, and I am just curse you,
Translate from
Merriam-Webster.
Canadian English to American English.
Curse you, Merriam-Webster.
I wonder if it's any consolation, a lot of programming languages that use the word color use the COLOR spelling.
Then at the bottom you said return true.
Yep.
How
Return
many
true with
indents?
another indent.
Oh,
One more.
Okay,
Yeah, because it's inside that if statement, it has to be indented one more than that statement is.
there we go.
Yeah. So if it is a match, we return true. And this match at will be used within game as well as when we are populating the board.
Okay. Now it's...
Okay, I see that we have an error there. If, let's column row 1, what is the error? Identify a column not declared in the current scope. Yes it is. It's the variable that we are taking in. Somewhere, our column variable gets forgotten, and I don't know why. We want to stay in that function because it's somewhere in that scope. It's somewhere in that scope, unless we declared a global column variable that we are overwriting, which might mess things up. I don't think we are. So if row equals to if all of, okay, put a hashtag right after the if on that. So we're going to temporarily comment out this line. Well, we're going to temporarily comment out most of this line. We still want the if. Okay, so now say if column is greater than 1, colon. No, not in the hashtag.
Oh, that makes sense.
We're temporarily, we're temporarily changing this line to if colon equals 1 to give it a much simpler test. Colon.
Okay.
Aha. So column isn't forgotten, but all blobs column somehow is. At 4223, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Error at 4223, identifier column not declared in the current scope. Okay, go up to line 42. While match at row column color. Right, we have to fix what we're sending. So it doesn't know, it knows row, it doesn't know column. Why? Because row and column aren't declared in this scope. So var this piece, place one blob where, so I guess we pass in where.x and where.y. No, because we need to pass in the row and column. So we need that special variable of where.y or where.x minus start position divided by blob width. I guess that's something we have to calculate on the fly each time we need it, because it's not something we can declare right at the beginning. So replace row with zoop that.
Row where, specifically?
Oh, in line 42.
Line 42. Okay. And just row?
Yeah, just row gets replaced with where x minus x start pause divided by blob width. Yeah, and then column similarly gets replaced with, copying this, that. Oh, I copied the x again.
Just the y one?
Yeah, the y one. Just doot and doot, like that.
All right.
And then we also need to define color before we can pass it in there. So the piece has a color property. Actually, I'm not sure if this piece has a color property.
where did we declare it? So we preload those pieces. We have piece scenes. The piece scene should have a color property. I'm not sure if it does. Let's see if where.x minus start position slash blob width, where.y minus start position blob height. Color. Identifier color is not declared in the current scope. Yeah, that's correct. We did not declare the identifier color. So what do? We need to open up the color scene. So let's look up cyanblob.tscn, see if there's a script in there. We don't have a script in here. And we don't have custom properties. So we're going to have to figure this one out on our own.
Oh boy.
It shouldn't be too bad. We could assign the color property on in this code as we pass it in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we could say within the scope of creating the piece, we have a variable called current color, and we set that current color when we instantiate the piece. So we could make it a let's see, did we enumerate? I feel like we might have had an enum of our colors.
Magenta piece.
Yeah, those are the names of the pieces themselves. This piece equals magenta piece dot instantiate.
Okay, this is weird.
Ah, yeah, color magenta.
But look below it.
Yeah, this piece equals magenta piece dot instantiate.
Color magenta and magenta piece.
Yeah, we have two somethings. We have two variables. Let's scroll up and look at our variable declarations. So magenta piece, so the pieces equal our TSCNs,
mm-hmm.
and our colors equal there, enums. Exactly, that's what we want. So we did magenta, then cyan, then white, then yellow.
Okay, so that's right.
So we want our colors to equal the enums that we set there.
Okay, so
if the so
color would be enum?
Random pick. Yeah, it wouldn't be enum. It would be, what did we name the enums? The enums, we didn't name the enums. Okay. Let me think here. I want to say enums are ints because they take up the least amount of memory, but let me just double check here.
Mm-hmm.
GD script enums. Okay, they do look like ints. How to convert global enum values to string? No. Names of the identifiers only exist to make it easier for humans to read the code. They're replaced on runtime with something the machine can use and are inaccessible later. If you want to print an identifier's name, no, we don't want to convert enums to strings. We want to just know how to refer to them in the docs. So if we treat them as const, well, they are consts. So what we do is go down to the function call for match at. Okay, so let me think here. We only know that the random pick is that enum within its if statement. So maybe we call while match at no, that could create a memory leak. Oh, right. While we're here, just to head off another possible error, add a line
Oh no, wait, no, never mind. I think what we want to do is we want to separate the block of ifs and elifs into its own function as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just think of how to do this cleanly. I think this might be something I have to think about between episodes and do as homework. Yeah, I think this might be where we have to take a break for now.
Yeah, no worries. At least they'll let us know what the children are.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder, could you send this .godot file to me,
Sure,
and I could try and open it up and do a little fixin' on my end.
I could do that.
Alrighty.
Or at least I'll try. If
Yeah.
it doesn't for some reason.
I'm gonna try and separate the if else block into its own statement, just so that if we have to change a part of that block, we only have to change one piece of code.
Alright.
And then yeah, we could clean up that block, make it look a lot more readable,
Mm-hmm.
by turning it into a function call instead of 8 lines of code.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Please be sure to subscribe and follow to both my YouTube, Twitter, and Blue Sky. Links down below, but also Cumulatives.
Yay.
He does a lot of gaming videos, a lot of dev videos, coding videos, and other various things. Alright, and goodbye.
Bye.